So in this episode of Make It with Calvin, we're talking about finishing the brass keychain here. I'm going to talk about some techniques that I use, give you guys some ideas to try on your own, and, leave the rest up to you. So when it comes to finishing a brass item, there's a couple of options. What I personally do is when the parts come off the mill, I will throw them into my rotary tumbler with the stainless steel pin media that I've used in the past with polishing metal prints, and run that for a couple of hours to overnight, just depending upon how I feel. I find that past about the 2-hour mark, the amount of difference that you see is very minor, but it is still something, so it doesn't hurt anything if it runs a little bit longer. It just doesn't really make that much of a difference. When I'm done with that, I will carefully dry the parts off to make sure that there are no water spots that get left behind, especially considering that the water out here is extremely mineral rich. If it stays on the brass for any long period of time, it will severely discolor it, and in this case, I don't want that. Then what I will do once the parts are dried is I will put them into my vibratory tumbler for about an hour with a mixture of corncob media, walnut media, red rouge powder, new finish car, not polish, not wax, I don't even know what they call it, stuff, and a little bit of odorless mineral spirits to not only clean the brass but also hold the new finish in suspension. I will run that for about an hour, pull the parts out, and then they're done. I will wipe them down though with a clean microfiber cloth just to wipe off any excess new finish that might be on there. When the parts come out, they are shiny. Now, sadly, the new finish is not as protective as, say, a clear coat or something like that, but I have found that it does delay the process of the material tarnishing, which is good. So obviously it might not be perfect, but it is something. Now there's other applications where you actually do want to tarnish your material. These are generally when you want to give something more of an antique look, or you want to accentuate something on an item. Now in this case, this is a custom knob that I am making for a friend. This will be in a future video probably, but you can see it is copper, but you can definitely see how darkening the inner area makes it stand out better. Also gives it a very unique effect as an aged item, and if done properly can really make items look really impressive. Also, if you run the parts with a more aggressive media in a rotary tumbler, you can almost get what is called a stone-washed finish, which is more or less something that just looks like it's been beating around in a river for a long time. It tends to slightly pockmark the surface, but if you're going for that aged look, it looks amazing, especially if you throw in some blackening and then polish the surface so the divot areas have the dark in them, or you just lightly take a Scotch-Brite pad, such as this one's for a rotary tool, but same concept. You take one of these and you just lightly run it across the surface. You can get a graining effect, especially considering on the coarseness or fineness of the pad. Get some really unique effects going on. Now it should be noted that chemical blackeners such as this, which is sadly not in production anymore, are pretty nasty. You don't want to go drinking them. You don't want to go using it then eating food right afterwards without washing your hands. Definitely wear gloves, eye protection. Take safety precautions when using them. There's also some less toxic methods out there all over the internet that you can try. I've heard of using hard-boiled eggs. I've used window cleaner with ammonia. I've used baking soda. There's all kinds of different stuff out there. It's just the chemical blackeners can give you different shades of coloring, and it also works a lot faster, so choice is up to you. So I hope this helps you guys get some ideas for how to finish your brass parts. There's obviously the old rag and brasso method, but let's face it, if you're trying to do production work here, or you just don't want to sit there forever trying to polish something by hand, there's got to be a better way to do it, and that's what I'm trying to show you guys here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to pick up one of the bottle openers that was shown on the video, I have that down in the description. Same with the shirt here, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys here next time on Make It with Calvin. As for me, I gotta go work on some stuff.